In 1948, Walt Disney Animation released its ninth animated film, this time trying to improve on what Make Mine Music was with Melody Time. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. Hey friends, welcome to the Disney Pastor. I'm your host Tim and I talk all things Disney, which includes Walt Disney Animation. Question of the day is this: what is your favorite sequence inside Melody Time? There are a few pretty good ones here, and I'll talk about that in a second. As I dive into the good, the average, and the bad of this movie, I'll give you my rating. Without further ado, let's dive on in.
Ooh, that's good.
I will say this one, while having a musical in quotations, presence, is definitely better than Make Mine Music by a decent chunk as well. I wouldn't say it's, a amazing Walt Disney animated picture, but it is better and an improvement while dealing with the concept of music. Ironically enough, though, there are two stories that don't really deal too much with music. They have music in it, but don't really deal with music. That are the standouts here. One of those is being Johnny Appleseed. I love the just kind of brief story. We don't really see him in much of anything, and I'm just talking in general, whether that's movies or TV shows or books. I mean, obviously there was a book written about him, but we don't really see that, especially now. And so it was pretty cool to see. Plus on top of that, the song he sings brings a lot of nostalgia to me, because I heard it a bunch when I was a kid. It's probably why I enjoyed this sequence, but it really just is pretty solid. At the same time, at the end of the movie, we get Pecos Bill, which most of you would probably know Pecos Bill either from this sequence or more than likely from the quick service restaurant in Frontierland at the Magic Kingdom. It's a pretty cool sequence. There's some things that are odd and weird, especially now, but the music's pretty decent. The story's fun, the animation is bright and lively, and it just looks really, really good. It's fun and entertaining, and that's what you want. Especially with sequencing like this, you want something that stands out, and Pecos Bill does stand out.
Something good, something bad, a bit of both.
I did briefly touch on music in the good portion, and the Pecos Bill song is pretty good. But other than that, and The Lord Is Good to Me, I mean, it's fine. A lot of it is more compositions rather than singing and vocals. There is some more in that, such as Little Toot. The music is okay. It's hard to compete when you start off batting near 100 with Pinocchio and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. There are a few things that are pretty good, but other than that, it's all okay. I wouldn't say there's a memorable song in this one. The other thing is the blending of live action and animation. Over the past Disney movies that we have seen this, I have criticized it a little bit. With Saludos, Three Caballeros, Make My Music, thank goodness didn't have any. Or I may have just forgotten it. Even Fun and Fancy Free, right? It's weird and odd and doesn't make sense. But this one, I think, does it a little better. Now, when it comes to the Donald Duck Jose sequence, I'm not the biggest fan of it because we've already seen it with Three Caballeros, so it just feels like, honestly, this whole sequence feels like it should have been a part of that movie, and just was like, oh, we forgot to include it in that one, so we'll bring it in with this one, and it'll be fine. So for me, on that one, but I actually think the one with Pecos Bill actually works pretty well here. It sets up the story a little bit. I think it works better than 99.99% of the rest of them. It fits better. The rest of them don't. I'm pretty happy with it, but at the end of the day, it's still an animated movie, and so to step out and do live action feels weird to me, especially when you look at the rest of the Disney catalog. It's just an odd choice, and part of it may be, like I've mentioned in the past, budget cuts and to save money, but who really knows?
I have a really bad feeling about this.
When it comes to stuff I don't like about this one, we once again continue the trend of just putting random sequences together, naming it, and shipping it off. And while I like this better than Make Mine Music, in some areas it does better, and it has more narration in all the sequencing, but there's no real story. I mean, it talks about different styles of music, but then you look at Johnny Appleseed or Pecos Bill, and their stories aren't musically driven like the rest of the animated sequencing. Those are your standouts, right? Because they're more character driven, right? They're character story. Pecos Bill and Johnny Appleseed. Character driven, story driven sequences. And the rest of it is all musically driven, whether by composition or song. And so it feels just like we're going to just put sequences in and it'll work better. And some do, but most don't. And it's just a little bit frustrating. Overall, I like this better than Make My Music, but it still feels bland. I feel like it's just a lot of, we're just going to put stuff together and just send it, no matter really what the quality is. And it's a little frustrating. And so there are things I like a little bit, but there's a lot of things I don't like about this. And so it just creates some issues in my mind. So I mean, overall, I give it a 5.5 out of 10. Again, I like it better than Make My Music. I like it better than Saludos. It's not the worst Walt Disney animated feature film, but it is one of them. Anyways, that wraps up my thoughts on the film, so let me know yours down in the comments below. Would love to talk to you about this movie down there. Don't forget, it is on Disney Plus, so you can check it out there if you've not seen it. And with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. Helps me know what you like, what you don't like. And if you're new around here, I want to say a special welcome to you. Be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell to be notified for more videos just like this one. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Goodbye.